Good evening, everybody. My name is Steven. I'm a grateful overeater. I'm a GreySheeter, and I'm abstinent today. And I know I'm abstinent because I weigh and measure 3 meals from the GreySheet food plan. I write them down. They're actually an event in my calendar on my phone. I call them into my sponsor at a specific time, and I don't eat in between my meals no matter what. And abstinence has become the most important thing. And I've been going to AA for 12 years, like I said, and the qualifier was talking my language. She was talking about like a beginner. It was like a beginner meeting, and it was exactly the language that I understood, talking about sponsorship, the first bite, men with the men, women with the women, following directions. Now, these are all things that I've been doing in AA for a long time, so it wasn't foreign to me. And I understand when GreySheet becomes your first 12-step program, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we do that seems foreign. But for whatever reason, I connected the dots that I started every morning with frosted shredded carbs. So I'm giving myself as like starting the day with a cigarette, or starting the day with a beer, or starting the day with a bump of cocaine. If I was to do that, there's no way I'm going to be able to get through the day without using. So I would start my day with, like I said, frosted shredded carbs. And I'm out of the house 5:30 in the morning, and then we go to work, and everybody stops for coffee. And of course, at coffee I get one of those things with a schmear and sugar on top, and coffee with heavy protein. So, by 7 o'clock, I'm probably already at 2,000 calories. I mean, not that we count calories, but it's already 7 o'clock, and I'm way over what a person should have. So with that allergy, by 10 o'clock, I'm feeling a little peckish. I have another 2 hours till lunch. So I'd get a 25-cent bag of salted snack treats. And I would get the baked ones, not the fried ones, because the baked ones are better for you. So that would keep me till lunchtime. And I would go to McDonald's or Wendy's or one of those places that has a dollar menu. And I would get 2 items from the dollar menu and a diet soda, of course. And if you were a calorie counter, it probably would be a good choice. But I have an allergy, and what I was eating, one of them would be green, but the other one was wrapped in a carb. So my allergies is still the fire is burning, so to speak. So if I did well at lunchtime, I would reward myself on the way home with a frozen McDonald's with the extra candy in it, and then I would cook my dinner. And we had 4 kids, so we always had, we always had the Italian stuff. And I wasn't against vegetables; they were just the smallest portion of my plate. And if I cooked a whole pound of Italian stuff, I wouldn't eat a whole pound at one time. Well, after I come home from my meeting, every time I passed the kitchen, I'd have to take a spoon because you can't throw it out. And, that's wasting food. So I had a lot of fixed ideas about food. And I remember my father saying, you can't throw this out. There's starving children in Africa. So it still comes to mind. My father's voice still comes to mind that I can't waste food. So these fixed ideas around the food had me stuck in this area. I knew that I should eat more vegetables. I should do more exercise. I should stay away from sweets. I knew all that stuff, but I couldn't. When I got sober, I had started practicing my faith again. And I remember as a young person, we used to give up something for Lent. And so I tried so hard. I tried to give up a specific sugar thing. And I wouldn't give up sugar altogether or grains because I had no idea they were connected. But so I would give up these things that satisfy, and they had king size. I was doing a king size a day, and so I'd give this up for Lent. And I think only one Lent I was able to actually do without for the whole 40 days. Because I kept eating other stuff. And what happens, I have this allergy, and once I start eating, I want to eat more. So, like I said, when I got sober, I was about three and a quarter. By the time I came to Grey Sheet, I was over 400 pounds. So the picture in my profile is a picture of me. We went to a sober house in Brooklyn sometime, and we were invited back to speak at the sober house, and it was funny. My friend had lost some weight too. We both took pictures under that same flag. So that's an idea of what I looked like. So I was 400 pounds. I have a demon in my legs now. I would get scratches on my skin and they wouldn't heal. I would go to the doctor because I would get these infections. And the doctor told me, Stephen, listen, this is progressive. If you don't do something about your weight, this is going to get worse. So that was about 2 years before I came to Grey Sheet. I had a problem tying my shoelaces, going to the bathroom, getting in and out of the car. I could tie my shoelaces at home. I could bring my leg up on the bed when I'm getting dressed. But if I'm outside the house, I could not bend down to do my shoelaces. It would just be too much. I would have to contort my body in such a way. And like I said, going to the bathroom, I used to have problems peeing on myself when I was drinking. But here I am sober 12 years, and I would go to the bathroom and I would come out and my pants would be wet. And the shame and the embarrassment of urinating myself was a lot. I mean, I wanted to stop, but I didn't have a solution. So a series of events got me to my first Grey Sheet meeting. Now, I had been showing up at OA, and they weren't giving out any food plans, and they suggested that you go to, they wouldn't even say Weight Watchers. They would say WW, or they would say get a nutritionist. And I'm a smart guy. I know what I'm supposed to eat. So I would never go to anything like that. And, and occasionally you would hear the word Grey Sheet, but usually it would be, people would say, what are you saying? What are you saying with that for? We don't do that here. But there was no everybody claimed abstinence, but there was no definition of it. And that's one of the big things. When I got to my first meeting, everybody said the mantra. Now, I thought it was kind of stupid. I said, I'm not going to say that stupid shit. But by the second meeting, I was saying that I was an overeater.
5 minutes.
Thanks, Linda. So I get to the meeting, and I hear about the allergy. And so I got that first part of the first step is the powerlessness. No matter what I do, if I put this stuff in my body, it creates this need for more. And then the second part of the first step is the manageability. Now, I couldn't deny it anymore because I used to work every day and I had a family and children. And I was able to do all my stuff. But here I am. My life is unmanageable now. And I was still committing suicide on the installment plan, one meal at a time, one snack at a time. So that's the first part of the first and second part of my first step. The second step is come to believe in a power greater than me. Now, I had developed a higher power, and I was invited to that meeting and I said yes. And this is one of the things that my sponsor had taught me is to become part of the Yes Club. When I was first getting sober, I got invited out a lot of times and I would say, no, I'm busy. I can't afford the movies, or I can't go on retreat. But I became part of the Yes Club. So I got this invitation from a girl that had gone to Grey Sheet once before. And she said, I went for 3 months and I lost 30 pounds. And I want to go back. So she hadn't seen me in like 7 years. So I had gained a lot of weight in the 7 years that she's seen me. So she invited me. So here I am at the meeting. Everybody's happy about their abstinence. And another thing that was very different about this meeting compared to OA meetings is that everybody was in a healthy sized body. I'm not going to say everybody was slim, but everybody was healthy except for my friend and I. So that was pretty dramatic, and the abstinence was defined, 3-way to measure meals. So I knew what abstinence was. So I believed that this was going to be it for me. I was going to try this out. So by the end of the meeting, there was a man at the meeting too, and I decided that I'm going to ask this guy. So of course that's the first, second, and third step. The third step is actually going over and asking the guy, "Can you sponsor me?" So he sat down. He gave me the gray sheet, and he started crossing things out. I thought that was great. We were breaking the rules already. And, he asked me if I could call him at 11 o'clock. I said, sure. I had abstinent food in my house. I just said he goes, "I want you to write it down. Don't call me if you didn't write it down." And he called me at 11 o'clock. I said, fine. I think I called him at 11:15. And to me, 11:59 would have been 11 o'clock. But he answered the phone. He says, "Listen, I can't talk to you now." Called me back. And he says, "Listen, I asked you to call me 11 o'clock. 11:15 is somebody else's time." He goes, "So you're not respecting me and you're not respecting that other person. I need you to call me at 11 o'clock because there's a lot of information that you need to get abstinent. And if you call me at the wrong time, I'm not available. I'm making myself available for you." So that was, I was sorry, all right. So we spent time going over my plan. Thank you. And that was it. So I made it through the first day. That first day was tough. I had lots of habits around snacking and places in my my route that I would stop for snacks and stuff. But I made it through the day, and that's what I did. We all do it one day at a time. So I've been doing this now. This June will be 9 years. I have a whole new life, completely new life. Now, I didn't get my life back. I got a whole new life. And it's because of you guys showing me the way to change the way I eat and change my life. So that's enough out of me. So thanks for letting me share.